name is EvanJames. I am a wolf in Cub Scouts, and in this video, I'm going to be explaining for my SuperNova the science behind the Pinewood Derby. This is what my entry looked like. It was Tomater. He was in fourth place that I saw. The car that went the fastest was in my den looked like a block of cheese it went super fast down the ramp, and it had a lot of weight in the back. And his car was the fastest, I think, because the air could go really quick past his car right here, because it was like diagonal, so the air could just go up, slant up a little bit and then go far. And I think the reason why his was better than mine is because his the air didn't have to go straight and then up and then back. But his didn't have to do it, but mine did, because mine I put it like straight, up, straight again, down, and then a pin. Just slant, I guess.
What other factors do you think affected the car's speed?
I think the factors that made my car not go that fast and not win is because the air had to be pushed up, directly up. But as if it slanted like this, the air could go past really fast.
Are there any other factors that affected it, like friction?
The friction might have the friction on mine, there might have been a little more friction on my car than his. That it probably had a little bit more friction than mine, and that might be why it also won too.
Would it affect the cars where you put the weight on the car?
It would really affect the cars if you put the weights in the front than in the back. In the back, it's better because it's still falling because the weights are on the back. But when the weights are on the front, it's not falling for as long because the weights are done pulling it down. So and he might have had a little more weight than mine did, because mine only wasn't very heavy. Mine was 122.15 grams.
What is the weight limit for Boy Scouts?
The weight limit was, I think, 5 ounces. And my car was 122.15, and his was 141.24. And the weight also helps, because if there's more weight, it goes down faster, because the weight pulls it down, and mine wasn't as heavy as his, and his had a lot of weight, so it got pulled down the ramp really fast, as mine wasn't as heavy as his, so it didn't get pulled down as fast. And
did that have to do with the potential versus the kinetic energy?
Yes, that had to do with the about the kinetic and the potential energy.
Can you explain that, please?
The potential energy is how much you put in the car, which is like how high you put it. And then the kinetic energy is as it's going down, the kinetic energy turns into energy.
Well, it
No,
turns into
speed.
it's speed.
It turns into speed, and the speed, the weight also helps with the speed because the heavier something is, the faster it wants to go.
So the heavier it is, the more potential energy it has?
Yes.
And AJ, what factors decrease the amount of potential energy that becomes kinetic energy? What takes away from that?
Friction.
Can you explain that, please?
Friction, from kinetic energy, friction, which can turn into heat, that's not as good because friction kind of slows your car down so it doesn't go as fast.
What would cause friction with your Pinewood Derby car?
What would cause friction in the Pinewood Derby car would be how light it is.
What about the wheels and stuff?
Oh, if all the wheels are going, it can't go as fast. But if it's only riding on 3 wheels, it takes away from the friction. And if there's less friction, there's more kinetic energy, and the more kinetic energy is the key to winning every match for Pinewood Derby.
And should you have all 4 wheels make it go in a straight line? Is that the best way to do it?
No, the best way to do it is to have your car rail ride. That rail riding is making the wheel kind of slant in, and then so it makes it go to the middle line and makes it so it can go really fast down the trail.
So it's staying on one side of the track?
So it's staying on one side of the track. And then if you lean the wheels out, there's also not outwards, there's not as much friction because once the wheels are aimed out, there's only a little bit of the wheels that are touching the
And what did you spray on the axles and stuff to make it go better?
Graphite really helps because graphite makes your wheels spin way faster and way longer too.
How does it do that? Does it do something with the friction?
It takes away some friction because it's slippery. Because dust and stuff is really slippery. Graphite's like dust, just slipperier, I guess. So that makes it the wheels slip.
What are the factors that affect the speed of any Pinewood Derby car?
The factors, the weight really does. The aerodynamics really helps.
Does it matter where you put the weight in the car?
No, you want to have it an inch before the rear axles, and that's where you want the weight because there people have tried it and saw that they tried it all over, and right there was the best place that it went faster at. So that's why you should have the weights an inch before the rear axles.
So are those all the factors? The shape of the car?
The shape of the car,
where the weight is.
The aerodynamics, the weight, and the
amount of friction that the wheels are causing.
Amount of friction the wheels are causing to the car, and that is what makes them go fast and slow. Okay, and that is what I have to finish up my SuperNova. Bye.